Alright, this is Culture in XL. I'm your host, the XL. Today we're going to be talking about something that I personally don't even know why people have to ask this, but, well, I'm putting it out there anyway. And the thing is, why are men checking out of society? I'm on my way home. But, I'm always amazed that people even have to ask this. It really tells me how out of it the older generations have to be to even wonder why millennial men are just, checking out. They're checking out and they're not coming back, nor should they. And it can be summed up really simple. There were a couple things that always drove men forward to stay connected with their society and so on. First was just the need to survive. We don't have that anymore. I mean, it's very simple to keep a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and food in your belly. Okay, you don't even have to have a job. You go out to California, and they'll give you a couple $1,000 a month to live off of for free. You don't have to do anything. It doesn't take a lot anymore. Food is, yes, actually pretty cheap. You get a Sam's card, you get a Costco card, go to Walmart. It won't be the best food, but you can live off. You can stay alive off ramen and pot pies and pizzas pretty well. And so there's that. So we don't need to stay connected to stay alive anymore. We used to stay connected because of our family. Well, women have been told that they don't need men for nothing. And that they all deserve to be treated like princesses. Pretty princesses. And they have all these rights and they deserve, every woman deserves a Keanu Reeves, Brad Pitt. Name your Hollywood actor. The 6x6x6 guys, the over 6 foot tall, over 6 figure wage, and over 6 foot long genital. 6-inch long genital. And they're told that, that's what you deserve. You don't settle for anything less than that. And of course, they don't. More of the woe to everybody else. And of course, very few guys, can really do anything about two of those three things. We can't control how long our genitals are. We can't control how tall we are. That's just, there's very little we can do about that. And thanks to the economy being the way it is, we really can't do much about our wages either. Yeah, fortunately. So that one's out the window because we don't got family. Okay, women don't want to marry us. They don't want to date us. They don't want to marry us. And they don't really want us to have much to do with their kids. So millennial men are going, okay, well, there's that done. Millennial women want to go around, ride just date around, sleep around. They can't call a whore, even when she's acting like a slut and a whore. So, okay, fine. We'll just take advantage of that. We want to get laid, fine. We'll go out and we'll get laid whenever we want. So that takes a huge financial burden off a guy. Then we got the third thing, social expectations. Millennials are the generation for our entire lives that have been told we're losers. Yeah, millennials men have been basically instructed at every turn men are evil, that millennials are worthless. And that kind of, we've been actively rejected by our society for a very, very long time. So, of course, we just, fine. Fuck it. And then we got the other problems. Why are men, checking out society? Well, the realities we're living with don't match up with social expectations anymore. They really don't. For instance, I live with my family. I don't live alone. Why? And I know a whole bunch of people going, well, I'm not taking his advice for anything anymore. Feel free. That's what most people feel. Then you find out that I'm living with my grandmother, who's 93, World War II generation, one of the last. She raised me. She's 4'10". Yeah, she's 4 feet tall. She's 4 feet 10 inches tall. She's 93. She's not very strong. She needs someone to look after her, so I can either live with her, be that person for the majority of the day, besides when I'm working, or she goes in a nursing home. Yeah, this house, she and her husband, my grandfather, worked together to earn, to keep, and supply. Yeah, that's all gotta go away because some numbnut decides, oh, I should live out on my own. I live with my aunt, her other person that helped raise me, who is 62. She never got married because she's been busy taking care of her younger siblings, and her mother, and an adopted child. She never got married. So now both of them are up in age. They need someone to help take care of them. Guess who's that person? If you guessed me, you're right. And this is what you start asking around. This is what happens with a lot of millennial men. We're not just staying home because we want to. We're staying home because we're trying to help our parents, our siblings. Just ask instead of assuming. But of course, we're told to assume these things about millennial men. Oh, they're checking out society. Oh, they're lazy bums. All this crap. So that we don't ask the harder questions. Both the left and the right are vested in this. Okay? Because if we ever bothered to ask why, the whys to this stuff it would completely skip the rails. The whys. The right doesn't want people to think of why aren't men, dating, moving out, and so on. Well, that's very simple. We're not moving out and so on because the wages have stagnated. Okay? They're not what they used to be. They never were. They've just stayed the same. The pensions have evaporated. Yeah. The freaking Republicans and the right said, oh yeah, the businesses want the money they put in the pensions back so that they can spend it and invest it in, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, sure. So now the pensions are gone for our parents, right as they're coming up to the age where they need it. The baby boomers, because their pensions are gone, Social Security, the surplus that was supposed to help pay them the higher wages they needed to live comfortably back in the 90s were given back to the community, to buy votes. Thanks, Republicans. Yes, that was a Republican Congress and a Democratic president. Gotta love how that happens. And so their retirement's not anywhere what you should be. We went through a couple stock bubbles. So they don't have a pension, the money to retire and have us live off on our own. They need our extra couple $100 every month. Not a lot, just a couple $100 to make ends meet. There's that end of it. And then the left end, of course, the Democrats need to blame millennial men for it, because otherwise they can't admit that everything they've told women for the last 3 generations has just blown up in their face. Because as it turns out, you actually kind of do need a partner in life if you're a woman. You need somebody to move the furniture, to lift things into the car, to build and wallpaper and paint and do all the household fixer-uppers, because it's hard work. You need someone that goes out and does the jobs no one likes because they pay better. You need that guy. They need the millennial men to be at fault Because otherwise it's, what the fuck have you done? Yeah, what have you done to everyone? So the left and the right need, the millennials to be at fault. Millennial men to be at fault. Once more, it's, they've engineered it so voting trends. The left gets us when we're young, college age to our 20s. And the Republicans get us when we're old, when we get to our middle 20s and 30s. I don't think that's not part of it. It is. So, amidst all this, now, on top of that, you add the whole, most businesses are so huge that they have utter and complete monopolies. Yeah, utter, complete monopolies over everything. There's nothing, you can't create a new business unless you're very lucky to stumble on something that somebody else hasn't thought of, because everything's already taken. Yeah, everything's already taken, everything's been invested in, so on and so forth. So there's none of that, okay? So you can't build anything meaningful. You don't have a family. You can't move up in the world because boomers and Gen Xers have the higher paying jobs. Your society actively hates you, goes into all your hobbies and interests and corrupts them into shit that hates you. And so men are doing the only thing we can do. We're leaving. Yeah, we're just going, okay, fine. You won't listen to us. You actively attack us. So we're out. Yeah, we're doing, forget this, we're out. And that's why this stuff's happening. In case anybody really needed this stuff explained, I don't know why anybody would, but in case you needed to, this is why men are checking out society. Not to mention that now we don't have the time invested by family, we don't have the money, we now can invest in our hobbies. And most hobbies are now ridiculously cheap. I like to read. I like to read manga, Japanese comic books, and Japanese light novels. I can get that shit for free online. Yeah. I can get that shit for free. I like video games. There's a whole bunch of video games from China, Japan, and Korea that are complete video games, storyline, voice acting, music, animation, all that shit, for free on my phone. So really, all I need is my phone. So that's a $60 to $100 a month bill. That's it. Now there's YouTube. There. And maybe a $10 to $20 fee for Netflix or Amazon Prime or Hulu or, all this other crap. That's it. Entertainment's cheap as fuck. So men are going, you know what? Fuck it. I don't have to do this shit. So they're not. And that's why we're checking out. And anyway, this has been Culture in Exile. And I'm still the host. And I hope you all have a good day. Bye.